talk about the status.
Sorry, I'm gonna just start from here.
Okay, we're starting here.
I did. Go ahead.
I'm gonna pause here and just for the video, just go back to that. This is Port Edwards Public Safety Meeting, Tuesday, February 2nd, 2024. Report, the fire department report has been given, but now we are going on to the status of the turnout gear grant application.
Okay, I'll take that. What I want to say about that is that Chief Morton did an excellent job pulling. We had 4 or 5 different requirements, pages, applications for information. We needed it by the end of at least our grant writer, which is Drew Lexipol. He did a good job of getting those 4 pages together, and also Diane also was part of it for financials, and I did a few pieces on it. But most of the work was done by the chief, and I wanted to compliment him because it took quite some time to pull it all together. And I saw him put it together over a period of time, so that is now out into the hands of our grant writers, which is Lexipol. We have a meeting set for tomorrow to discuss with the situation with the grant writers. That's if the chief is capable, I think, meeting it because he's been sick. One of the things that is still missing from it, and they're helping, the grant people are helping us, is the actual cost of the turnout gear to get the estimates. And to get those estimates, we're going through different, we are working with to get them from different vendors. The nice part about this all, now they're gonna do their grant writing based off of our information. And I think this all has to be done by the first part of March. And then that's gonna be submitted. What I do know is that looking at, I think we're looking roughly at 20 turnout gears, portion of it. Thank you for helping me. And basically, they're gonna run them, we figure run about 100,000. And therefore, if we get the grant through FEMA, our match should be about 5,000. So that's something that we would have to look at. I'm trying to find that because I know we haven't put that in our budgets, but we won't be looking at a grant of 100,000 and look, if we get this grant, and it's understand the folks from Lexipol have been very successful in getting grants based on how they ought to write them. So that's where we are. And we maybe next meeting, which will be in March, this we all put in place. And I don't know if we'll know when we'll be in the middle of the year, maybe get the award portion of it, but at least we've got it to this point. And the fire department did a good job getting information got.
And what portion of all the turnout gear was it? Half?
No, this one's for the whole 20 sets. It includes all the turnout, the boots, the gloves, clothes, jackets, I think even the helmets. So a helmet portion. So it's the whole set. And our sets right now are about, we're in 11th year on them, and their portion supposed to go 10 years. Mr. Smith did a lot of work on this, the first part. So I think, you helped me out when you first came here, what condition that gear was in. If you want to add it, if you don't mind doing that.
Just get to where the 30-year retirement can be.
Yeah, and then
The liability can probably go to the manufacturer.
And there's 20 current ones.
You have 32.
Okay.
but we're looking at 20 now because of the size of our department. That's it on that.
Okay. The status of the officer promotion process.
What I'm gonna pass out is I've been working with the chief and go this way. The chief he's getting set up for the officers. We need to promote officers to the Public Service Commission. The chief works on the opportunity for advancement. It's a notice that he's going to put out. I worked with him on it. He first, and then I did a couple changes with it, which he still, I don't think has posted it yet, but at least he got to a portion of the procedure. And then we have the application form itself. This was actually seen, or this requirement I mentioned during the last report that was given to the village board and the Public Service Commission on some of the basic portion of, we need to have a procedure in place. Once I worked with him on it, these are the two documents that the Public Service Commission, PSC, is gonna be getting. And then they can, that way they have, the chief's gonna have the application, you can see where on the bottom part who the applicant is, signature date and approved for advancement, and the chief warden's date, because that is what the police and fire commission be looking for a recommendation piece. And then this is what I think that was in the past, was trying to make sure we had something in place. So I give him credit. He actually come up with a good portion of the opportunity write-up. So I think that this is, I know he said he used it because we had a meeting recently, the chief and I did, so he appreciated this process. Any questions on it? You did his report already.
There's no motion or anything made, just presented.
Presented, right? It's kind of giving you a status report of how they're moving forward, getting these certain milestones done.
Okay, good. Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, meetings. Okay. Anything else for the fire department before we move on to the police department from anyone on the committee? Okay, moving over to the police department. We have Scott Drew's report, Chief Drew's report in front of us. He is Chief Warden is under the weather today. Chief Drew is at the Wisconsin Police Leadership Foundation Conference in Wisconsin Dells. Talks about some of the topics coming that they're discussing for this year. A big section of his report is just kind of an update with some of the things going on at the school. A cat and mouse game with student and staff, which led to the purchase of one handheld metal detector to aid in searching subjects that are hiding certain items in personal areas. And they will intend to purchase two more. They are $50 each for the metal detectors. Here's his sense of humor here. The CRO MOU has been A-okayed by APPS and Trustee Moore, graciously approved. We'll talk about that next. See here, then he goes on to squad conditions. Squad 1, tires, brakes replaced. Squad 2, tires replaced. Squad 3, no known problems. His payroll reinforcements, calls for service seem to be in line with this time last year. His map of traffic stops. And his budget comparison before us. That's what Chief Drew had. Any questions about his report that's in there? Any other further things for the police department? The next thing is related, but under old business, so. With that in mind, we go to old business, discussion of possible motion on the community resource officer memorandum of understanding, which is in front of you in a separate packet. And I believe that it was going to be Trustee Moore who wanted to present on it, or
What I want to say, first of all, that when I left for surgery, the police chief and the school superintendent were to be working on the documentation. We did have Attorney Nick's comments on it, and then from my left, I understand Trustee Moore was involved with the other two people. And I didn't have much to do with it, but I know that Nick had a chance to review it after there was, when I seen a red line, there's quite several changes in it, and I made the changes, so now you don't have a red line in front of you. I apologize for that. I put it into a document passage, and basically the red line document was all the changes that were recommended by the city attorney, village attorney. And maybe more from the group.
He didn't redline anything, he made comments,
And you-
and then I
what I
redlined
thought.
and addressed his comments with the new text. And then he went on to approve that,
Yeah.
I think. In the commentary, what became very apparent is he just wanted to make sure there was a very distinct line between school administration and
Right.
the police chief and who's in charge of the CRO, because at the end of the day, the chief of police is truly in charge of the CRO. So a lot of the wording now reflects that. It was pretty simplistic changes to say, for example, will respond in an emergency. And one of the questions was, who decides what's an emergency? Because we can test that a principal's emergency versus law enforcement emergency are two different things. Sometimes one and the same, but often not. And so the language now just reflects that the CRO is really in charge of defining, is this an emergency or not? And beyond that, obviously the chief of police. So. There were some other odds and ends in there, but that was the meat of it, I would say.
So what I saw. Thank you for that one.
There's that line in there that talked about building level administration. Is that kind of refer to principal, not necessarily district? Is that what it?
Correct,
means?
so that would be the elementary principal, which is Mr. Bina, who's also a superintendent, but yes, it's both, and then the middle high school would be, principal showed up.
Okay,
Where it sits now is if this committee has any more change or recommendation, it's sitting ready to be recommended to take to the village board to the next village board meeting. And I now noticed, we even got the signature page was recommended to.
any further questions about anything in the MOU?
I'll make a motion to move the community resource office MOU forward.
Okay.
I'll second.
Trustee Brenda made a motion to move the community resource officer MOU to village board. Seconded by trustee Moore. Any discussions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No. Motion carried. It'll be sent on to the village board next week. Any new business? Any new business?
Public safety. What I can report to you is actually old business. Well, new business to you is that I have been working with the fire chief on they call it PIP, Personal Improvement Program. And basically, that is, I had drafted it, I sat down with the chief, he's made some comments on it. I'm making some amendments to it. And that will actually be brought in front of the HR committee to take a look at it. So just want to let you know that's in the making and the discussions occurred. Actually, in one of the requirements is getting the what we talked about earlier, in there was the promotional process. So we are actually working within that, within that document too.
Okay. Correspondence received, there's nothing received pertaining to, public safety that's not already provided. Agenda items for next meeting. Anything that was timely that needs to be discussed? Anything coming up in the fire department?
Next meeting's in March, right? We'll get an idea we'll maybe have a document of how the grant looks.
The street games, that's on the list, and the other one.
So good.
It's a street dance.
We discussed that with mom.
Yeah, we can,
I don't know if it's in here, if it's in the next one.
We don't really go to that. Is that the,
I think we
way
essentially
that
give the
costs
blessing
set
of
up.
it, yeah.
is here?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, we can put that on there.
Because I'll have to take this next month.
Oh,
I
for sure.
think you should put it on.
Yeah,
so you want it for next month?
Yeah, so I want to put tickets next month.
Yeah.
right.
There's this,
Yeah, it's this month.
Got it.
Street dance. Okay,
I'll learn a little more about myself.
What was the date on that? June,
14th Friday.
I remember that much, too. Remember that was here, so.
okay. Next meeting date, let's look at that. Let's see here, so it looks like, village board will be on the 12th. So, what is it, for-
13th, I thought it was.
March the 12th.
I'm sorry.
well, so if we stick to the same time, it'd be the 5th.
That's fine,
What is this called? Oh, we have public safety.
that's fine.
Yeah, the 5th at 5.
Sounds good to me.
Okey-dokey. 3, 5 at 5, with no further business. Yes, is this, for the meeting or?
Yeah, for your agenda meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. How long does your meetings go? Do they go for an hour or is it 45 minutes or half an hour?
Well, it started, the meeting started out as, several hours, but
So,
okay,
This is the
voice,
fastest
well, I mean, it's just, kind of
had a-
typical, depending on the type of topic, but.
Topics.
We didn't,
This is fine. That's, because we're trying to, we have public works and parks and we're looking at those and they're getting closer, trying to get them closer together. When one gets done, it starts. That's all.
oh, yeah.
yeah,
So I'm just asking.
No, this would be rare and almost probably a record, so
I'm sure, since I've started.
Since- yeah.
Let's hope.
I don't need it.
yes. Just.
We don't need comments from the
Look at
peanut
it though,
gallery,
you're
but.
doing so good. and I'm all
So we
Um,
wanna do Pitt on the 5th at 6 o'clock?
That's what I
yeah, that'd
figured
be
you'd
fine.
do then.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Is that a
Um,
Tuesday?
Yeah.
Okay, that works for me too, but.
With no further business, I'll adjourn this meeting at 5:25 PM.